This might be one of the worst crash outs in recent MMA history. I mean, Jon Jones clearly cannot take the hate of the Tom Aspinall stuff. Earlier in the day, the UFC 316 press conference went down, and basically Jon Jones got booed. And we thought we would leave it at that. He got booed. You know, there was a chant to strip Jon Jones, which I reacted to. I'm going to show you guys later. But that led Jon Jones to go on a Twitter storm and basically reveal a lot of breaking news, kind of essentially saying he is not down to fight Tom Aspinall, confirmed, says that he told the UFC this, and we're all wondering what's the holdup then. But let's take a look at what he had to say, guys, because it is super interesting, and I think it gives us a lot of context to what is probably going to be next in the heavyweight division. This video was sponsored by Cloudbet. So this is Jon Jones' Twitter, right? Throughout the whole night, he basically was tweeting, and I'm trying to find the first one that kind of set this off. I mean, he posted this image of, you know, I guess just different champions by countries, and this was really, I think, went really viral at first. So someone asked Jon Jones, or just tweeted at him and said, Aspinall is the current heavyweight champ, by the way. And Jon Jones just responds, that's awesome. You guys could use one. And yeah, obviously you would think he's the champion, but yeah, he's basically saying there, look, I'm not your champion, pal. Here's him talking bad about Tom Aspinall here. I mean, he just keeps talking on and on. I'm trying to find, though, exactly where. This is important, though. This is what Jon Jones basically has been saying. This is the reason, kind of, I guess, why he's saying what he's saying. And we're going to get into, like I said, the tweet where he said he's not fighting Tom Aspinall officially, but let's see this. I remember like it was yesterday, 3 years since anyone saw me fight. The mass amount of critics said Jon Jones looks old now, he's too slow, blah, blah, blah. There is a lot of revisionist history. I always say, everybody, look back at my video about Jon Jones, Cyril Gane. I had a lot of comments disagreeing with me for picking Jon Jones, saying that I was wrong, and there were a ton of people flaming me at the time. And obviously, in hindsight, it's easy to say, well, you know, Cyril Gane has no grappling. I think he deserves some credit for that. He went up in there against a young guy, and I think he deserves credit, and especially, you know, being off that long, going up a weight class, I think that's impressive no matter what. And it is talked about now like it was just a gimme win, like, you know, I don't think that was necessarily the case at the time, at least. You know, obviously in hindsight, we can kind of say, yeah, that was a gimme win, I guess. Someone also said to Jon Jones, you're scared. Really sad to see from someone who should be the GOAT. And Jon Jones, once again, goes on to why he's saying what he's saying and says it really has nothing to do with fear. The question I asked my close friends and family is, how much higher can a person like me climb? Look, he's trolling the fans. I mean, one thing you got to give Jon Jones that I like about Jon Jones, I actually really don't like Jon Jones. I always criticize him. I've always criticized him on the channel, and you guys know there's tons of videos of me shitting, so like let me get this straight. I'm not a Jon Jones fan, but I've always said the guy trolls really well, and while I think that he's not fighting Tom Aspinall, he's giving an FU to the haters, essentially. He's toying around here. And this, guys, is the bomb tweet. Jon Jones tweets out saying that Cloudbet is the best sports book to bet MMA on. Wait, what? Yes, guys, I love doing these Cloudbet videos because it lets me be able to break down the card, you know, make my picks and make my bets for you guys. You guys could follow along and bet what you want to bet. And you guys could also use my code JackMMA down in the description. But of course, we're going to go to MMA, and the big UFC 316 card is going down. And like I've said before, what I love about Cloudbet is you could see all of the stats that these guys have. You could see different submission records, etc. Like I said, I think this line for Juliana is insanely high. I think it should be a lot closer. We haven't seen Kayla Harrison look all that good. And honestly, I could see Kayla Harrison fading early and Juliana Pena taking over the last few rounds. Guys, I'm gonna go with Kayla Harrison, but I'll go with inside the distance. That's a little bit of an interesting line, and I'm willing to risk a little bit. Now, between Merab and O'Malley, I mean, this is a tough fight. I could see O'Malley getting a KO out of nowhere, but I think Merab is gonna win this. Merab has just looked insanely good. So here, guys, I'm going to pick over 4.5. I think that's a really good line for over 4.5. I think it'll most likely go to a decision. I've also just made this parlay for the undercard, guys. Kevin Holland by KO, I think is going to be able to knock out Vicente Luque. Mario Bautista just to win. I was surprised to see he was an underdog. Patchy Mix debuting. And I picked over 2.5 rounds for Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. I mean, it sounds crazy because both those guys do have pretty big knockout power, but I just see this one going to the distance. There's also daily cash drops as well as other rewards on here, guys. It is a great site. It is, I think, one of the best sites if you're betting on MMA and fighting. I love that you could see the stats right there. Click the link down below or use the code JackMMA. And yeah, guys, just remember to gamble responsibly, but let's get back into the video. All right, guys, but for real, this is the big tweet. I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans were. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. And there's a truth to this. I think that there is some truth to this. Number one, I mean, you know, we've seen Jon Jones do some seminars, but we haven't seen him train, so obviously we don't know that. But I'm referring to the second part, which is that it's the UFC's best interest to keep Jon Jones as champion, even though he's not fighting. And I say this with, a rights deal on the table this year. When you're talking to people like Netflix, you want the biggest stars possible. Jon Jones is up there. If you don't got Jon Jones, you're losing probably one of your two biggest stars. And you want to go into a negotiation and say, hey, look, this is who's on a roster. This is who potentially could fight. Jon Jones also says, I've just been playing the role of a company man, doing nothing at all. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off Tom being the interim champion than Tom has himself. Guys, the ones, like I just said 5 minutes ago, Jon Jones cooks when he's trolling. I can't believe this. This is a bar, I gotta say, because it is true. Jon Jones is probably making a lot of money off Tom, and Tom's always talking about him. This is free promotion. I think this, Tom Aspinall feud has only made Jon Jones a bigger fighter. Now, it might taint his legacy, which is what we're gonna talk about later. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings, and this is Jon basically, I think, saying, like, look, I've told the UFC no, so this isn't on me. Don't keep coming to me saying, oh, I should be stripped. This isn't up to me. Go talk to the UFC. And if that's the case, I mean, you can't really disagree with Jon Jones. Even Tom Aspinall has said, look, if Jon wants to retire, that's fine, but then vacate the belt. And if Jon Jones has been saying, look, vacate the belt, let's have the division move on, and the UFC is not willing to, then yeah, that's on the UFC. And yeah, Jon Jones goes into some weird philosophical arc here, and he's like, that's a problem with some young men. You think your last outcome is your legacy. That's why many of you fall short. You can't find the strength to return. Like, if Jon Jones lost, like, what would be his personality, guys? Like, what he would have nothing to tie his ego to at this point. And that is why I don't think he's willing to fight Tom Aspinall. And look, at this point, I understand it. You have fought so many people. Not fighting Tom Aspinall, that's understandable. But here was my reaction to Jon Jones getting booed at the press conference. They started a chant literally saying, strip Jon Jones. This was a whole group of fans. And yeah, here's my reaction to it.
Fans made a petition to strip Jon Jones of the belt with almost 200,000 signatures. What are your thoughts on this?
Yo, what the hell, man?
So I think a fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is bigger if they are both champions. I'm hopeful they're going to fight in December in Las Vegas. I have no inside information.
Yeah, really.
But I don't know that Jon Jones
are they
really
saying
gives
strip
a rip
Jon
if
Jones?
they strip him of the heavyweight championship.
Oh
He's still going to fight Tom, hopefully, and it's still going to be a bag.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
All right, who's next?
Wow, damn, they're really
One
turned
for
on
Sean
Jon Jones.
O'Malley.
What the hell? I mean, now the actual casual public is now shitting on Jon Jones. I mean, this is how deep we've gotten in the trenches. And yeah, guys, I mean, at this point, will it ruin Jon Jones' legacy? In my opinion, I don't think it does. The problem has always been that Jon Jones should have vacated his belt. It's the way that he went about this, the way that, he should have just vacated it from the get-go or have been open, not wanting to fight Tom. If he only wanted to fight Stipe, a legend, it would have been understandable. Look, Dustin did kind of the same thing. But it's a fact that Jon's ego literally cannot let him say that. And I'm expecting an announcement within this month, guys. It's sad. I really want to see this Tom Aspinall-Jon Jones fight, but to be honest, this one doesn't sting as much just because I never really fully believed we were going to get this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. You guys are the best fan-based MMA. Check out my last video where I talked about Sean O'Malley's views declining. Please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.